guys, Gav from Ollie's Drag Garage. Just a quick little update of some work I've done on Ollie's Jeep. I literally got 5 minutes before I have to be in bed. I'm wrecked, as you can see. It's been a big day today. It was 33 degrees today. Tomorrow they reckon it's going to be even hotter, and Thursday is going to be even hotter still. So it's a bit of a shock to the system to be coming out of winter and then all of a sudden it's summer, like, and I had a particularly very hard day, long day. It was a 12-hour shift at work again, physically hard. My work is outdoors, so for a bloke my age and my weight, as you can see, I'm buxom. What I do, it's pretty hard work by the end of the day, so I'm pretty wrecked. So I'm looking forward to going to bed very soon, and in the meantime we're going to do a quick little mail call because I've got some parts that I ordered from Nigel Ward at Milspares in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, for Ollie's Jeep. I still need to get some other bits and bolts, and I took a quick little video earlier on showing the work that I've done on his frame so far. I only had I think about an hour yesterday to get some work done on it before I lost the light. So anyway, how cool. So it's not that heavy, but it's kind of heavy when you pick it up. Alright, so parcel from Milspares. What did we get? Well, I won't tell you. I'll show you. But Milspares, right? Nigel Ward. So if you're in Australia and you're looking to get parts for Jeeps, Milspares is in Brisbane, and Marathon Spares, which has just been bought by a gentleman by the name of Sandy, is at a place called Yamanto, which is near Ipswich, which is west of Brisbane, about an hour west of Brisbane. So there's two Jeep dealers in Queensland now, in Brisbane, so to speak now, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, if you need one part and the other dealer doesn't have it, we've now got another dealer we can contact to get some parts, which is what I've done the last couple of days. I've been trying to get some parts, and one of the part suppliers doesn't have it, the other part supplier does have it, and so we'll be getting some bits and bobs over the next couple of weeks between the two of them. So there'll probably be a couple more mail calls. Now I've got a whole bunch of stuff here that I needed for Ollie's Jeep, and it all smells new, like fresh chemical smell. But it smells new. Bump stops. So I've got a bunch of bump stops for his frame. I'll obviously need to get these parts obviously for Orisa's frame and Terrace's frame. Orisa's frame, I was looking at that one the other day. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of work on that. So I found a little bit more rot in there, and one of the top spring hangers on the back right side is actually slightly bent up. So I'll have to somehow fix that. I'm going to obviously need oxy heat. I don't have an oxyacetylene board or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know how we're going to do that, but I'll have to fix up some of that rot. I was also looking inside the frame, and it seems to be that the inside of the frame, without dropping everything, like this one, the bottom section here is rotted out. So her frame is much like this frame, but just in better condition, and it's that lower part here that looks like it's rotted where some of the rivets are. So I'm going to have another really good close look at that. and see if maybe we can get away with that, or maybe have to end up cutting her frame out, that internal part of hers, to fix that as well. And there's a little bit of rot on the side there. That's all we've got to do. And that paint that I did paint on it, which was that crappy Dulux paint that didn't go down properly, it didn't set, is just flaking off all over the place in big chunks now, which in a way is a good thing because it's flaking off and coming off the primer. But inside, I can't get in and clean the inside part of it. I can sit there tediously and try and scrape that off again. I'm thinking what I'll probably end up just doing is I'll probably just take it off somewhere and just get them to sandblast it, just blast it all the way back again, clean it all the way up, red oxide primer it again, and put the fresh paint on it. So we'll get around to doing her Jeep. Hers is a priority. It does need to get done first because she's the oldest. She's going to high school next year, and she wants a Jeep to drive around. So she's a little bit disappointed at the swap meet this year that we didn't have a Jeep. But with Ollie's is a bit of a priority because it's been sitting out in the weather for about 6 years now, since she was about probably 1 or 2 years old. And I actually got that frame. I got that frame before he was actually born. That was the first frame that I got. So it needs to get fixed. It needs to get worked on. It needs to be put into primer, and we need to get some paint on it. And I wanted to be able to get bits like this so that I know that his is pretty much ready to go to get stuff done. Much like Arissa's and much like Terras's. Terras's is red oxide just over here, as you can, I'll just turn you around there. So that's Terras's frame underneath all that crap. As you can see, it's already blasted in primer. It needs some hangers, spring shock absorber hangers put on the front. It needs the spring hangers put on the bottom. It has a crack in the front horn on both sides, I think. So that needs to be watered up. But his is pretty much ready to go for paint. But his is going to be the navy one, and I don't have the navy paint, so I need to organise to get navy paint. So anyway, without further ado, we got bump stops. So we've got 4 of those, and you can see they come with nuts and washers and bolts. Yes, nuts, bolts, and washers. It's pretty cool. So we got 4 of those. Yep, 4 of those bump stops, which is cool. Because I forgot what did I order? Oh, that's right. Grease nipples. So I got grease nipples. I'll show you why. So little grease nipples, or zerks, as you guys call them in the States. So I got a couple of those. I'll probably need to get a whole bunch more. But I got a couple of those because I was just searching for stuff that was on the shelf. And I came across these parts. So as you can see, pins, bolts, zerk on the end of it. And you guys should be able to recognize this as the torque reaction spring extensions. Now, as you can see, this one's a little bit wallowed out, so they're both a little bit wallowed out. So I don't know if we can get away with that or not. Maybe, I don't know. But these ones here, I'm led to believe, and you guys, if you know better, let me know, because I'm just a bloke in the garage. They do have the bushing in it. Okay. But I don't know if you're supposed to get a new one, or if that one's worn, or which way that's supposed to go, actually. Which way does it go, guys? I have to look at the pictures if it goes that way, or if it goes that way, because as you can see, there's a fair bit of movement. But anyway, I digress. So I found that one doesn't have a bushing for it, like that. That one doesn't have a bushing, but the others do, which is pretty cool. So that one, and bushing. This one, bushing, but no zerk. All right. I'll give that one a clean out later on, but that's what I'm saying. So I grabbed that for that to go on Ollie's Jeep. Same as that one. So that one there. And I do remember off the top of my head, there was some other things that didn't have zerk, so I think that's why I just grabbed 3 of them, because they were pretty cheap. I think they were like $3 each or something. Is it? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. So like that. The locking plate for the T84 transmission, I think for the main shaft or the counter shaft. So I had to get one of those, I believe. Lock plate for the counter shaft. There you go. So I had to get one of those. I've got 3 gearboxes. I thought I ordered 2 of those. I'll have to double check that because I'm pretty sure I did. Pinter hook, bolts, F marked. Okay. I do have a pinter hook floating around for his Jeep. I just wanted to button things up. There's the cross member for that. Transmission cross member bolts. So we've got those. And bumperette bolt set. So I've got bumperette sitting over there. And I think they too also need a heat treatment off the top of my head, because I think the inside of them curves in a little bit. Maybe not. I've got a whole bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of them. Some have got the F mark on them, but you can see it's not quite straight. You can sort of see. This one's probably the better one. The other one's really bent in. And of course it's covered in dust and crap, you know. Yeah, because everything in here is covered in dust from all the cleaning. Because that's all it is clean parts and prime parts. So that's time to start painting and putting things together. So that's what that's for. So that's your bumperette bolts, and they're F marked, I believe. Bit hard to see because they're black. Yes. Let's see if you can see. Put that up to the camera. Can you see? Has the F mark. Cool. So that's what I've got. So lots of little bits and bobs. Not much action. As you can see, I'll show you in the video that I'll play after this. We are slowly getting stuck into fixing that. Obviously the frame horns on the bottom where the gussets go on the bottom for the front bar are just rotted, gutted. They look like beef jerky, really, to be honest. So I've got to cut those out, weld in some new metal, position everything in, drill the holes, and then I can put the spring hangers in. These ones? Those ones. Those ones. Those ones. So put those ones in, because that goes in front. And once I've got that set up, I'll probably end up having to take out the front cross member, because it's looking a little iffy in the corners. So I'll probably have to cut the rivets out, take that out. I've got another one that's in better condition. It's a little bit more clean up. That's just a matter of just giving that a quick wire wheel. And then I can put that in, and then we've got the rear bar, which is still sitting here, with the A-frame that needs to go in, which I'll show you the A-frame. So this is the A-frame that I cleaned up many years ago. That needs to have repairs done on it. So as you can see, it's a bit thin along here. You've got pinholes, and it's thin all the way up to probably about here. So what I need to do obviously is I need to cut here and figure out some way of cutting here, replacing this section, replacing all that, this section up to probably even about here on the bar. And then I need to weld up these holes that you can see there. That's just thin holes. And then I can install that into the frame. And then we can put the plates on the back of it. I can locate stuff. So once I get this done and I get that into the frame and bolt it in, that'll give me a good idea of where the rear bar needs to go. So I can position this and the rear bar with the plates for the pintle hook and bolt them all in together, and that gives me a pretty good indication of where that rear cross member, rear bumper bar, whatever you call it, cross member, needs to go, because the previous owner that had the frame, it looks like they replaced the back of the frame because there's no bolts, holes. So there's no holes that go in from the back of the cross member, at the top of the cross member and the bottom. So there's no holes at all. And I noticed when I had to play with it the other day, you can line up the left side, but the right side of the frame is out. So you've got to kind of squeeze it in a little bit. So be able to get the A-frame together and put the A-frame into the chassis, that'll help me locate things, and then I can drill holes, I can bolt things, and I can start welding bits and bobs, and then that'll fix that up. Obviously, once we get the cross members done, because like you see here, we've still got this bit to do. Yep. So once we get these fixed up, and obviously this is the one that, like I said, as you can see, as I line it up, isn't exactly straight because it goes around the back of my head. You see that? We've got to figure out what's going on with this. The other one is straight, but it all E2 needs repairs. And then we can put these in. If you sit still, we can put those in, and then we can start bolting everything up, welding up stuff, and get it painted. And then I can start playing with springs, because I've got a whole bunch of springs down here. I've got to figure out, I don't even know if they're Ford springs or MB springs or Mahindra springs or Suzuki springs or whatever. They're just a whole bunch of crap that I bought together, and I'm going to go through that and clean them up. But it'd be good to be able to get the springs on to that. We've got the diff here. I'm going to get that cleaned up. I think I've got to get one of those line board because the bearing caps for the carrier are missing. I've got bearing caps, but they're not the right caps. They'll have to get line board. So I can get things moving along to the point that we should be able to get it as a moving, rolling chassis, which would be really cool. Because I don't have a body tub for his Jeep at the moment. We'll worry about that later. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at, guys. Slowly, we're getting stuff done. Like I said, it's just really hard when you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you work through, 12-hour day, and you get home when it's almost dark and you're tired. I mean, I'm completely effed right now, and I'm so ready for sleep, it's not funny. So anyway, guys, that's where we're at. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, do all that junk. If you can give me some tips and hints and whatnot, that'd be great. The other thing too, with the gussets, I'm going to get those fake rivet shear nuts, and I believe Sandy's got some of those coming in next week, so I'll get those. So when we get those gussets together, we'll have that rivet look on the front, which would be really cool, rather than having hex head bolts. So anyway, guys, hopefully, depending on how the weather goes and how work goes, we'll get some more work done and we'll get another video out. Okay, thanks, ciao, bye, see ya. be good, have a great day, be cool, get some sleep. See you guys. Alright guys, so this is what we did last night. He only had like, I don't know, maybe an hour of light, so I kind of rushed through it. What I did is I had to cut this out. So this is the original gusset that was on here. It's a nice Ford Mark motor. It's not in nice condition. It's pretty rubbish, as you can see. I'm not even going to bother to attempt to try and rebend that. So that gets binned. And this was this piece that was under here. So as you can see, it's been mangled. I don't even know if that's the correct hole there or not, or that's a rust hole, or well, it's just there's no point mucking around with it. So that's gone. So what we've done here is we've basically cut it out, and then we're going to have to put a new piece in there. And what I'll do is these bits here, I'll run the bolts with the spacers to the bottom gusset, which is the proper ones. I've got all these bits and bobs here, because this obviously, that's the one that goes on the other side over here. So this is the correct one, right? That's the correct one. So that will go there, and that one will fit under there. Sorry for the shaky camera, guys. So with the bolts and the spacers, I'll be able to measure that up, and then I can drill those holes in the right spot. And then what I'll do is, obviously this side, as you can see, it's just as junk. So it's got to be cut out as well and repaired. As you can see, the top part there needs to be repaired. That obviously needs to be repaired. And once I've got one of these on that side and do the bottom part, then what I'll do is I'll put the wood spacer in between and the bumper bar, and that will reinforce this section here. Because what I need to do, which I may or may not need to do, is cut out this cross member. And the reason why is because it's pretty rusty, it's pretty crusty up there. It's not too bad, but I want to get in behind it. I want to clean it out. I want to get it, you know, in good condition and get that rust out. And it's a Ford marked one. I do have another Ford marked one, so it can pretty much just be cut out and the other one put in straight away. This is the other one. As you can see, it's also a Ford one. It's just needs a quick clean up. That won't take long, and we can just literally just bolt it straight back in. And yes, guys, I do know we're cutting out the original rivets. It's losing a bit of its authenticity, but this frame is it's not in the best condition. There's a lot of stuff on it, like this thing, this for the clutch tube. I think it has to come out. I'll have to double check that. There's a big crack running inside here, so I may or may not have to take this cross member out to repair that. That's that crack. Okay, as you can see, it runs right around that rivet with another crack, so that rivet is probably going to have to come out, and then it runs up into here, and you can see the crack runs across there. So that's got to be drilled out and welded out. Drilled out and welded, and it's a bit thin on this point here, so that's probably going to need to, I'll probably have to cut that and re-weld that. So as you can see, you know, there's another crack starting to form here, and that's pretty thin on that bit there. If you can see, just here, there's another crack forming there. It's really rough, guys. You know, it just needs fixing, it needs repairs. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Crap everywhere.